Suspiciously large jug just out in the open. Now that I'm stoned, I don't have no trouble. Suspiciously large jug just out in the open.
David, have you heard the story about Gabe's car getting demolished while smoking?
I have not.
All
Well,
right.
okay, I wasn't in the car when this was happening,
I
but
should say that as a disclaimer. Yes.
so we were just smoking at a friend's house, and he works at a music store, so he was given he was given 2 didgeridoos for free. So guess what we fucking did with those? We made a bong out of one of them.
Naturally, stoner ingenuity.
And then
So
we get were you
yeah,
gonna say it?
we're out back in the dude's sunroom because that's where we would smoke. I mean, it's still warm, but it's still outside, and like we're all just doing our thing, taking rips, and we just hear this loud crash. And we kind of just like look around at each other for a second.
I literally said that better not be one of our cars.
Then about like a minute later, we walk out to the front yard, and there's Gabe's car in its glory, sideswiped, side mirrors down the street, and it looks like some dude's Ram truck just like whacked the side of it.
He pushed it up on the curb, and like my car ended up having frame damage. And like it was totaled because of that. Like fucking drunk drivers. I was just a responsible stoner inside. Meanwhile,
Oh, dude, one of my favorite parts was Gabe going outside, and the neighbors just happen to be outside talking to each other. Gabe's like, "Yo, did you guys do this? Did you guys see who did this? Who the fuck did this?"
the funniest part of that night was actually when I had to call my dad to drive me home, because my dad always finds a way to blame me for everything. So he sits there really quietly for like a few minutes, and he's like, "You know why this happened? Happened because you don't pray enough." Like, what the fuck about me makes you think I believe in God?
Oh, dude, that was a great night. And then you called the cops to come look at the situation. I was paranoid as hell in Gabe's house.
Different
Dude,
Gabe. Different Gabe, not my. It was not my house.
we know too many Gabes.
I think
is
one
what it
is
is.
too many.
I agree.
David also has a funny story with involving a car. You want to tell You want to tell us about how you almost killed a family of 4 one time?
Yeah, there's no real action. It's not like this one. There's no structural damage to go along with this story, unfortunately. But for like driver's ed, my teacher said our homework was to just like get in the front seat of our car with our parent and then just click every button. Just find out what everything in the car does. So I'm just like sitting there with my dad, just fucking click clacking away and like turning lights on and shit. And then he's like, "All right, now go in reverse." I'm like, "I don't know how to do that." He's like, "I put it in reverse. Just put your foot on the pedal." So then I just fucking slam on the pedal, and then we're like flying down my driveway at like the speed of light. And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" I didn't know what to do. And he's just like, "Jesus, David." And he pulls the emergency brake, and we were like over the curb into our neighbor's yard. And like, we would have just like kept flying into their house. And usually my neighbor had like a gigantic truck parked right there, but then like that night he didn't. So like any other night I would have like slammed into his gigantic truck and like probably like broken my neck and then like destroyed his car. But luckily it's just we just kind of sat there on the curb a little bit. Like the back two tires were over the curb in the yard, and then the front two were still in the street. But it was pretty close to being a national tragedy.
Jesus Christ. You're lucky that truck wasn't there that night.
I know. It would have been really bad. Really bad.
I mean, okay, so staying on the theme of funny car troubles, one time I was driving with a really good friend of ours, the one who flies to Amsterdam all the time. And so this was like our coming of age, like into the whole stoner mentality thing. So we were smoking down by one of our friends' house who lives like on 80th Street. And then like this was in Virginia Beach. And then this man is baked as shit driving, and he tries to make a turn like from 2 lanes over. So he hits a car, and then like the guy who comes out was like, "Hey man, not trying to get the cops involved or anything, minor damage." This man just like freaks the fuck out before even talking to him, puts the car in neutral, drives it into the parking garage, and he comes out walking like that man definitely shoved weed up his ass.
Waddling out.
Yeah, he was literally waddling the fuck out, and he's like, "Hey, sorry about that." Just
Jesus. Literally how I got in my accident coming home from work one day. I was coming home from the interstate, or I was coming home from the oceanfront onto the interstate, and I was in the left lane just going straight. This fucking van, like maybe a car length ahead of me, is just like, oh, we're gonna take a turn. Slam into it, and I end up on the grass in the visitor center, kind of in between the interstates at the oceanfront.
so you weren't the one turning from 2 lanes over.
No, I was the one getting hit. I was the victim.
Okay. Yeah. Car troubles and drug troubles mixed together. Great for great stories.
Oh yeah, it's a great mixture right there.
That's true. I had neighbors one time that lived next door, and we didn't know what the fuck kind of shit that they were like getting into, like they were involved with. But one night, we just heard like a ton of banging outside, and we didn't know what the fuck it was. But then I guess the next day, my parents like went out and looked in their driveway, and their van had just been like beaten with like it had to have been like with bats or something. Like I don't know if they owed someone money or like fucked someone over, but people just like went over in the middle of the night and just started beating the shit out of their fucking car. And then it was just like a mess in their driveway the next day.
Your neighbor's probably involved with the drug cartel.
Oh yeah.
Can you figure out what they're selling?
I'll find
Dave's
out. I'll have
interested.
to track them down. They don't live there anymore, but I can't say I haven't tried to find out.
Sounds like living in an apartment complex in Harrisonburg, dude. There's always something happening. There was drug busts in like every other apartment. Came home one night from a party. Some dude's truck had like busted windows on it. I mean, it's Harrisonburg, dude. There's a bunch of townies there. There's like Barstool JMU. I went on their Instagram and it was like, tell me your best townie story. Almost all of them involved meth or crack. One of them was like, I was talking, having a good conversation with a townie at a 7-Eleven, and then he offered me crack.
There was a homeless man in Richmond that I'm like almost positive smoked PCP in front of me. Cause so I think I might have told one of you guys the story before, but I was walking to the 7-Eleven on Main Street in Richmond because I was buying a Black and Mild, the type of nicotine you buy when you try to convince yourself you don't have a problem. And so this homeless man approaches me like with my headphones in, and he made sure to like put his mask on and everything because he knew we were in a pandemic. And this was the part that really got me. He was wearing a UVA 2019 Natty Champs shirt that was like pretty torn up because obviously he'd been sleeping on the street with it, but he just comes up to me with a Natty Champs shirt. He's like, "Hey man, I haven't eaten in 2 weeks, no, not 2 weeks, 2 days." And I'm like, "Shit, I'm going to the 7-Eleven, like I'll buy you some taquitos or something." So he's following me. It's like 2 minutes to the 7-Eleven at this point, and he's making a little bit of conversation, and then like I buy him the food. When I come out, he's smoking the cigarette that looks like it was dipped in something. Like I assumed it was just wet because he's a homeless man, but then like he fucking devoured those taquitos and he started walking real funny. He's like, "Boy, you go to the gym, boy, because you look thick." were his exact words to me. I swore to God I was about to get cannibalized by a man on PCP. And yeah, that was my second week in Richmond.
Dude, I'm surprised that didn't happen your first week in Richmond.
Also, like a month or two ago, I swear to God, I saw the most crackhead shit ever. This car was parked like in the middle of the road, like at an intersection, while the light was green. The other cars were passing around it with its hazards on. And I was crossing the street, so I kind of got a look at the driver. It was an old lady that was crouched over, hitting a crack pipe. And then as soon as she got her hit, she put the car back in drive and kept driving.
That's
Couldn't wait till she
amazing.
stopped. She's like, all right, gotta do this now.
Oh no, I'm crashing.
If she got into a car accident right then and there, I guarantee you the first thing she would have saved was the crack pipe.
Oh yeah.
Man, imagine if the right kind of drugs were legal instead of like fucking Adderall. Adderall is the gateway drug into harder stimulants. Let's be honest.
Well, Gabe, I think I have a state that is perfect for you. You ever heard of Oregon?
Peanut butter and crack sandwich.
Do whatever the hell you want there, bud.
Dude, after they like legalize all the drugs that they probably have a whole different like species of homeless people in Oregon.
Gabe, what did you just pour in your coffee?
Bourbon.
Nice.
2:00, bet.
I mean, shit, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't have class. Why the fuck shouldn't I be spiking my coffee?
Cheers to that.
True.
I think it's just.
I feel like.
Oh, what are you saying?
Wait, I was just gonna say I feel like a bitch because I just have Pepsi with no alcohol in it.
Am I the only one drinking? Damn. Damn.
I feel like it's just going to be a matter of time before shrooms are legalized, or at least decriminalized, considering more states or Oregon's following Colorado's footsteps, and then they're doing, trial runs and tests on it.
Recently, like, I think the mentality towards psychedelics has started to change a little bit. Because I know in the past few years, the first center for psychedelic research, like at a college and university, was opened up at Johns Hopkins, and they've been studying. I don't know, like off the top of my head, the specific studies they're doing, but I know they're studying like psilocybin, and I know there's a lot of FDA approval for ketamine treatments for depression. So I think the mentality is starting to change, which is really good because a lot of the science has just been lacking on some of these substances because of the war on drugs.
Yeah, the war on drugs and like the stigma back from like the 70s and 80s really fucked it up. I mean, you have people
fucking Ronald Reagan.
You have people that live through that era that still have these views that are based on nothing, purely just propaganda and words. They like people who haven't experienced it before have the stigma of it or about it just purely based on nonsense.
Yeah. And it's also, I think, like kind of a mistake to, we were talking about crack earlier, like lumping that in with psychedelic drugs that can actually help people, I think was a huge mistake.
Yeah. I think, people have this idea that it's like, weed, and then kind of like every other drug. Weed has slowly like dropped down out of that list. And, all the other drugs, they're very different from one another, but some are way more harmful than others. And psychedelics are just not harmful unless.
Well, you can do too much.
Well, yeah, there's a threshold of too much and also not the right.
Have you heard the tragedy of Sid Barrett?
He didn't die until 2003.
Yeah, but
kind of departed.
He wasn't doing so hot.
Yeah, I think were you the one looking up the picture of No, it was your buddy Doug or whatever when he came. Showed the picture of Sid Barrett later in the years. I was
Oh
just
yeah, the like bald pudgy dude kind of
Yeah.
looked like a Star Wars character,
yeah. He came into the studio and
like Darth Vader without the helmet on.
Who is Sid Barrett?
The original singer for Pink Floyd.
He's the guy behind like Saucer Full of Secrets and a Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Like just the really out there kind of stuff was Sid Barrett's creation.
I don't know. I think the true musical genius behind Pink Floyd was Roger Waters, because after Sid Barrett had his whole mental episode, Roger Waters started like pushing the envelope with Uma Guma and like shit after that. But
No, definitely. I mean, when you think of Pink Floyd, first of all, everybody imagines the Prism, but people that know a little bit more about it, they always think of Dark Side of the Moon, Animals, The Wall, Wish You Were Here, stuff like that, which were all largely Roger Waters.
yeah.
And I think Sid left an impression on him too, because he still incorporated some of those like out there kind of ideas, but it wasn't like.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, he influenced the band. I mean, the entire "Wish You Were Here" album was dedicated to him. The Wall was half based on Sid Barrett, so good shit.
Amazing.
I don't know how into Pink Floyd you were, David, but
I don't know anything about fucking Pink Floyd.
Oh, dude, I love Pink Floyd. I just got
you absolute loser.
I'm sorry, it's just like that's more of like, acid music, and I'm more of like a crocodile kind of a guy. So I'm just it's hard to really squeeze that into my agenda.
So what would crocodile music be like for you? Other than, I mean, Primus fits
Trout
that.
Mask Replica. Yeah, just stuff like that. I don't know.
Fair
I'll look up like Noise Machine on YouTube or something like that, but just like the most horrible ones. Like I'll just
What's
look
your
up
opinion on 100 Gex?
life changing, to be honest.
If you like noise music, you must love Whole Lotta Red.
I usually look up something along the lines of like just gruesome jungle scene 10-hour loop, and then I'm just like and
Relaxing World War II sounds, ASMR.
Trench warfare ASMR.
ASMR of my car getting hit while we're smoking a didgeridoo.
So we're gonna turn that second didgeridoo into a way better didgeridoo that I'm gonna create instead of Alexander when he's high. So David, what they ended up doing is didgeridoo is open from both ends, so you can't really use it like a bong, but they like drilled in to the side where they put a mouth or the bowl piece, and the bottom they put a plastic bag over it, and you use duct tape and rubber bands to keep it sealed, and it leaked all the time. Like this kid's in college for engineering.
Oh,
he could come up with.
I've seen engineers make better smoking devices.
Yeah,
ones without plastic bags and rubber bands.
So I was just gonna say, like right before the pandemic started, me and some of the boys decided to make this really intricate jeeb. I can't really describe it without showing a picture of it, so I'm just gonna share my screen. Yeah. So we had a Jim Beam bottle pulling up the smoke, and then we had a lever that redirected the smoke into a gas mask. This shit hit.
This shit looks like part of a Nazi experiment. Like,
I mean, it was a experiment. Nazis were not involved. The experiment was, can we put this gas mask to good use?
Kudos to you.
I mean, that whole thing honestly started when David came over and he's like, you guys need a jeeb in this house. And he brought us like a really tiny one out of a like a plastic bottle and a milk jug, and then me and one or two of my roommates were just like, we have to improve this. You know, the engineering process, we always gotta improve, tweak things, make things a little better. So we ended up like getting that giant fucking container, and we had like two different like plastic bottles in it, and then we cut a glass bottle up, and then we're like, yo, the gas mask. And then the pandemic hit and we kind of just stopped improving it. But
Is it still there?
oh, it has to still be there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it? Okay, perfect.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of changed the culture there, and I don't know if it was for the better. Then there was just like a few month period where everyone there was just like Black Ops zombies. Like you'd walk in and they're just like, I'm like, Jesus Christ! I know what you
Nice.
guys are doing in there.
I mean, that's not horrible. What were they doing before Black Ops Zombies?
I mean, I guess everyone was just as retarded, probably. Just without Jeeves.
When I visited, like I couldn't believe how big. Like the house did not look that big on the outside. How many rooms are in there?
Like bedrooms, maybe like 10-ish or something like
There's
that.
11 technically.
Okay.
Technically, there's 11, but one of them is really small and is put into another. Is usually lumped in with a different room. So
That's insane. So we're gonna call it 10 comfortable bedrooms plus a basement.
well, comfortable is a relative term. That house, it's a 200-year-old frat house. Not 200, maybe 150. It's a really fucking old frat house.
Has it always been a frat house?
No, it used to be, funny enough, it actually used to be when UVA was an all-male college. It would be where, like, girlfriends would stay when they were visiting their significant others. And then in the 80s, it became a frat house,
So it was an Airbnb.
basically.
Well, dang, that's a cool looking house though. I wish our house was that big.
Yeah, your house was, well, you went to JMU, which didn't allow actual, like, official frat houses, right?
Yep. Couldn't have letters on them or anything, dude.
Because that was just like a residential house that was not built to withstand constant partying.
Oh, sure as hell was not, dude. We ended up with like holes in our walls all the time. Dude, that house was. I love that house. I love partying in it. I would never live in there. That house was disgusting, dude.
I stayed there for like in your frat house for like a weekend. Yeah, the second day we were there, I think the guy who I was visiting left the windows open and the entire living room was just filled with flies. I felt actually homeless.
Dude, the kitchen is inoperable. That shit does not work. You like so they would have the pledges like clean the dishes and stuff, and we'd be like, all right, the soap. Like what? The soap. Like you want to clean, right? Like I don't know, find it. They didn't know where the soap was, which led me to believe they didn't have any soap. And the pantry door off. There was no door to the pantry. It was just a cabinet, cabinet space with no hinges, no door. Dude, the only thing that worked in the kitchen was the fridge, which I'm happy that worked.
Our kitchen was also just, I don't know, you probably haven't seen the kitchen when you came to visit, but David, you want to talk about that kitchen? Because I haven't seen it in a while.
It's just mistreated. It's for years that poor little sequestered fucking room in the basement is just has been mistreated. But I mean, it's not too bad now. But there's just so many flies and just shit buzzing around, and they just like I don't even want to know what it's like now because now everyone's been away for like 2.5 months or something like that. So I don't know what's like just waiting for me. There's just like species of bug that haven't even existed until like mid-January.
You
Are
might
now just like dwelling in the
just
fucking
start
house.
the another global pandemic from that kitchen.
Mutated.
Yeah, someone's gonna eat like roach soup.
What soup?
roach soup.
Ooh, delicious.
That would cause some sort of fucking panic.
That might be the cure.
What?
That might be the cure.
Could
Next to
be.
Dude,
cigarettes.
maybe it is.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that the Pfizer vaccine is just a pack of fucking Newports.
Yeah.
Just smoke all of them at once.
We've had the vaccine this whole time. It just works by giving you cancer. It kills the cells that COVID binds to, so you can't get COVID.
That's funny.
One disease for another, that's the world we live in.
Red pill, blue pill. You can either get cancer but not have corona, or have corona and not get cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the Stone Age, we wouldn't have cared about a pandemic.
That's true.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah, I was born in the wrong generation. I should have been born in the fucking Stone Age.
Fucking Neanderthal ass. Just
Dude, I'm hairy enough.
running around the woods discovering Amanita muscaria mushrooms.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Taking enough of them to meet that day and age's Joe Rogan.
If you, in your mind now, woke up like tomorrow in the Stone Age, how would you entertain yourself? Like for recreation, you've got no fucking electronics. You're just in the Stone Age, and you got to find shit to do. How do you entertain yourself?
I think at that point you don't like your main concern wouldn't be entertainment; it'd be survival. So you just kind of like spend your.
But I mean, what's the point of survival without entertainment, though?
That's true. I mean, who is it? Just you there and animals?
No, like you got like a whole like family or whatever, or tribe. I don't know. You're in a community. It's just that you wake up and now you're a part of it.
I think at that point you just like you make games to do. Just like who can throw the stone the farthest. I don't know. Like
yeah, just create sports.
I would find a way to brew beer and then beat my wife and kids. Become the typical American dad, right? Just in the middle of the Stone Age. God dang it, Bobby, go back to your room. Whoa.
I think that's why sports were created. I mean, I think that's how at least the people just wanted to entertain themselves, and then they built more rules on top of it to create more competition, and that's just how that grew.
Yeah.
I mean,
now we have COD zombies, so sports are outdated.
Yeah. Now we have sports. All because some retard wanted to throw a rock really far. Now we have people just like railing Adderall and playing CSGO. We've come so far. But like, if I woke up in the Stone Age, I'd probably just slam as much Neanderthal ass as I could.
So okay, what if someone from the Stone Age just randomly woke up in your house? What would you do to entertain them? Or like
dude, anything. It doesn't matter. I'd probably beatbox and their head would explode.
I'd put beats on them and have them listen to 8D audio.
I would introduce them to the immaculate discography of Black Sabbath.
Dude, that would be, you would corrupt him. He'd go insane.
We'd
what is this?
drink Jack Daniels and listen to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, maybe I'd get him drunk. Oh, that would be terrifying.
I would definitely want to introduce a caveman to some sort of drug. I just don't know what it is. If I give him a psychedelic, he'll evolve too much and kill me.
Yeah.
If I give him alcohol, he's probably gonna get really drunk and kill me. Yeah, I'd make him smoke some weed.
Yeah, that'd be like the most harmless answer. Just share a doob with the guy. It might be really pleasant.
And he's gonna be like, bro, is this indica? You know I can only smoke sativa, bro. Indica gives me anxiety. No,
be
this
like-
is a different strain. It does different things, bro.
I'd be like, Neanderthal, you're being a pussy. And I'd just try to entertain him a different way. I'd maybe just like, I'd play video games and I'd give him a controller that isn't plugged in. Maybe an adult, but he still doesn't understand any of that shit.
Just put on the news, right? Just put on the news and then give him a controller, make him think he's in charge of, like, that's a video game.
Fucking
And
news.
it's just fucking CNN.
That'd be good.
He's
Dude,
gonna be
that's
like,
what
"Look,
George
I'm
Soros
going to
does. He
Capitol."
controls CNN.
Oh, dude, I would do an experiment. I'd have two of them. One listen to Fox News only, one listen to CNN only.
Yeah.
And in about 3 weeks, I have them come together for a discussion.
Just see which Neanderthal is more scared of a black person. Just show one CNN and another one Fox News, and then show them a picture of the caravan.
Alec, I'm pretty
You
sure
see
that
who
experiment
starts
has
freaking
been in the White House for the past 4 years. So.
That's true.
And the other one is going to be in the White House now for 4 years.
I guess we already know what will happen. If you just show a Neanderthal enough news, it incites a fucking armed insurrection. We should have known.
Thank God Trump's out of office now.
I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel real, right? Like, it just doesn't feel like anything's changed, but Orange Man isn't there anymore.
Well, especially on our level, I mean, you don't feel the direct changes of it, at least yet, but it still feels good, you know.
I just remember back in like 2017, every time I would get like really high, I would just look at my friend and be like, dude, the guy from The Apprentice is president.
Yeah, the fucking host of The Apprentice.
And I love Ivanka. If she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. They call the show Scooby-Doo, but Scooby doesn't do anything. Most of the time, he's not even involved.
What do you think
I
he's
heard
doing
of this
right
new drug called Jankum.
now?
I was wondering how long it'll take for you to start saying something about that.
What's Jankum?
Oh no, are we going down this path? What have I done?
You
So,
start.
okay, so Jankum, I think it's not, I don't think it's real. I think it was just an internet prank. But apparently some kids in Africa discovered that if you let your shit ferment in the sun for 2 weeks and then huff the fumes, you'll get really fucking high.
That's just like inhaling methane at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess. It would make you feel, something that disgusting would probably make you feel some sort of way.
Yeah, if you don't throw out your insides first. Jeez.
There's only
It would
one way
make
to
you
find out.
it would make you want to stop hosting The Apprentice and make you want to become president instead.
Have you guys seen Donald Trump's roast?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh, that was a really long time ago.
Yeah, I came across it on YouTube the other day. Dude, it's hilarious. I love
Yeah.
I like Justin Bieber's more. Justin Bieber's was hilarious because there's goddamn Shaq and Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, no, not Rosie O'Donnell. Man, who was it? Nah, whatever. I forgot. But yeah, Shaq, Kevin Hart, all of them were there, dude. It's hilarious.
That one's probably fun. I haven't seen that one, but I've not seen the Justin Bieber one, but that one must be funnier knowing he didn't become president.
Well, there's still time.
I could see him becoming president of Canada.
I'd rather him. Actually, I don't even know if he's a citizen here. He probably can't be president anyways.
No, yeah, he was born in Canada.
Yeah.
You can only
But,
be president. You can only be American president if you're born in America or Kenya. Kidding, but
Sure. But dude, the Trump roast was awesome. I used to watch all of those roasts when I was younger. Those shits pristine. They haven't done any good ones in a while though.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a bunch of them like a couple years ago, and then they sort of just fell off my radar.
Yeah, I don't know the last time they did one. Might have been like Rob Lowe or something like that. It was a weird
Yeah.
one.
Rob Lowe had one. They did one for Alec Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
What was this, Comedy Central roasts?
Yeah.
There's they're hilarious though, and everybody takes it like a champ when they're up there too.
Dude, they say some of the worst shit possible. I so badly wish I could write jokes for those roasts. I could come up with some good ones.
Oh, James Franco had one. That one was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Dude, they had a Bob Saget roast, and then Norm Macdonald. He didn't like doing roasts, but he was like good friends with Bob Saget, so like he did it. And so he just purposefully bombed for like 10 minutes and was telling like the worst jokes possible. Like after everyone was like making jokes about how Bob Saget like molested the Olsen twins and all this terrible stuff. And then Norm Macdonald goes up and he had a joke book, like an old joke book from like the 50s of like jokes you could tell at retirement parties. And he just told those jokes and bombed so hard.
That's
It was
terrible,
amazing. Like I'm trying to think of one. It was really bad. He said something like, John Stamos, everyone knows him as a bit of a swinger, Did you know instead of an umbilical cord, he was born with a bungee cord? And everyone's just sitting around like, what the fuck? Is he serious?
dude.
Norm Macdonald's he's an interesting dude.
He's an enigma, and I love him.
He has a pretty good voice for comedy.
Yeah, he does.
I really like that movie he did called Screwed. I'm sure you've seen Screwed, the one with Dave Chappelle.
I have not. I know what it is though, but I haven't seen it.
That movie is hysterical.
Figure it is.
The dude tries to kidnap his boss's dog, but ends up kidnapping himself instead.
Wait, what?
I don't know how to explain it any better. He tries to kidnap a dog, and then he ends up kidnapping the dog's turd by accident. So then he leaves a ransom note for the dog, but the boss thinks it's a ransom note for him. So he accidentally kidnapped himself, basically. And that's the whole plot of the movie.
What the hell? I gotta see this movie.
It's something that can only come from the minds of Norm Macdonald and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Dude, I love Dave Chappelle.
I was so mad that they took the Chappelle Show off of Netflix while I was watching it.
Should have been faster.
I mean,
You gotta be quicker than that.
I still pirate. I'm still an internet pirate. I can find it.
Good.
Dude, his Black Bush bit is by far my favorite.
Black Bush was pretty good.
Black Bush was hilarious.
I don't think I know that one. Was that on the show or was that like his stand-up?
No, that was definitely on the show.
Yeah, that was
okay.
on the show. If you go on YouTube, like you can find clips of just like his Black Bush bit. Dude, it's hilarious. Dude, do I need to tell you guys what you can do with aluminum tubes?
I really like his Tyrone Biggums skits, the crackhead dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When he goes and talks to the elementary school, that has to be like one of my favorite Chappelle skits.
Need to watch his show.
You guys have seen oh, you've definitely seen Trailer Park Boys. You were telling me about the drinking game for it. Dude, I think Trailer Park Boys is one of the best shows ever made.
Yeah, especially if you enjoy getting high.
It's
Dude,
just this
Trailer Park Boys is like one of the best. Yeah, I agree with you. It's one of the best things to come out of television, like right up there with Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Absolutely, dude. It's like the stupidity mixed with the poor production of that show makes it just, oh, dude, one of a kind.
Mr. Leahy, you're ruining my cheeseburger picnic.
Frig off. I
Frig off, Randy.
really want my license plate to be frig off. Dude, Jim Leahy, best drunk actor I've ever seen.
You gotta listen to the liquor, Randy. I am the liquor.
Oh god, that's amazing.
He's like a
Dude,
drunker Jim Carrey.
Stoners do love that show, like all of them. There's just something about dudes who smoke a ton of weed, and they all love Trailer Park Boys.
It's just, dude, that show's one of a kind. I feel like there are some good shows coming out now, but I definitely feel like TV and movies, or it's definitely moving more towards TV shows instead of movies now.
Yeah, because of streaming.
Yeah, and Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, they make great originals. Like I think those are going to be.
Really? You think Netflix makes great originals? I don't know. I've seen some pretty fucking terrible Netflix originals.
I mean, some of them are bad, but you got like, have you ever seen Peaky Blinders?
Oh, I haven't. I was meaning to watch that a while ago, and I kind of fell off my radar.
British gang in like the 1920s and 30s, amazingly produced. That show is really good. Queen's Gambit, everybody's talking about that one.
Yeah, Queen's Gambit is the next show I'm probably gonna watch. I just know that Netflix kind of ruined Arrested Development, and they also made that god awful Adam Sandler movie. God, what the fuck was it called?
Oh, they've made a lot of god awful Adam Sandler movies.
Adam Sandler movies, dude, they're just. I don't really like Adam Sandler like that.
I mean, who above the age of 12 does?
But
Dude,
I will say,
I watch all his movies.
Uncut
Because they're funny, but like in the same way that like Sharknado is funny.
Have you seen Uncut Gems though?
Yeah, Uncut Gems is all right.
I thought it was a good. Adam Sandler was annoying me the entire movie, but I realized like he's like that's because he's a good actor and that's the role he was trying to play. But besides that, like all he does is play like these really shitty comedies that they're all pretty much the same. Like,
They are
the same movie with different side characters.
And literally all the same actors too.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Something Spade.
David Spade.
It's literally the fucking cult of Adam Sandler. It's like Scientology, but less funny.
Dude, he's figured out how to live. Like he somehow has like tapped into this like magical impunity where he can make as many shit movies as he wants and his career does not suffer. Like
everybody beats him up.
Exactly. And he just gives his friends roles. Like he's just having fun making shit movies with all of his friends, making millions of dollars. Like that fucker's living it up.
I bet you they're fun to make. Like I bet it's fun to be on set for those and just like dick around.
You know, Adam Sandler has to be aware of like his public perception. He's just like, all right, I might as well just embrace the meme with these Netflix original movies.
Oh, yeah.
I think he directs, doesn't he? Like he produces those. He doesn't just act.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, that man's making money.
Yeah, I mean, smearing shit on a piece of paper and then producing it. Yeah.
Every script is just like
It's like,
Like
the
a
Rorschach,
laminated-
like when psychologists will do like the Rorschach test and just show you like an ink blot. Adam
Yeah.
Sandler like smears shit on a piece of paper, tries to figure out what it looks like, and then that's his movie idea.
His writer room is just apes throwing shit on the wall and trying to
he's looking at a piece of paper with shit on it, and he's like, I'm a pirate with a gay son and one arm. And
So
perfect.
those Neanderthals we were talking about earlier, one who watches CNN, one who watches that's Adam Sandler's those are his writers.
Dude, pretty much. Like I'm trying to think of like which ones. Like, have you guys seen The Cobbler?
I don't
Yeah,
think I've seen that one.
I've seen that. It's so stupid.
It's literally just like he's just like pulling professions out of a hat. He's like, all right, I'm this one in this movie. And it's just a movie where he's a fucking cobbler. And I mean, like, there's more to it, but I don't remember that well. I was kind of.
I will say, dude, you don't mess with the Zohan. That movie.
That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I was thinking of that one too, but yeah, that's also just a random profession that he definitely pulled out of a hat. Like, what was it? Israeli militant.
He was just kind of everything, dude. He was just a hairdresser.
What was the movie where it was like a murder mystery on a boat?
On a boat?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's one from a few years ago. I'm pretty sure.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Like, you got to realize the majority of the time that I watch these movies, I'm not sober, so I don't remember a lot of the details. Sort of like how I have to watch Rick and Morty episodes multiple times because I don't have a high enough IQ to understand them the first time around.
I think we watched like one at a time as they were released, but I was so high for the Dragon episode. I kept like zoning in and out. Like I just pass out, come back in, watch like a minute clip, and then pass out, come back in.
I vividly remember watching Pickle Rick for the first time at Josh's house.
Everybody remembers
like before the internet ruined that joke. Like I was legitimately laughing really hard at it.
Dude, that was a good. I don't give a shit when anybody says that is a good episode.
Hey, have you heard about the scientist who turned himself into a pickle? Funniest shit I've ever seen. It was a really good episode, though. All jokes aside.
I think besides that, Snake Jazz one. That episode is hilarious.
Yeah, because I was also fairly baked for that episode, and I'm like, wait a minute, they haven't talked in a while. What the fuck?
Dude. That's why I love that episode, because there's like 10 minutes of it where there's no talking, but you know the plot. Did you know there was Rick and Morty was based off of Doc and Marty?
Yeah, that's very obvious.
Well, I was just like when it first came out, I was like, oh, cool, like a show. I'm like Rick and Morty, all right. But I didn't get it until I saw like the original sketch for the show on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made a whole lot more sense to me. But they're creative. Like Justin Roiland and man, who produces that?
Dan Harmon? No,
Dan
that's
Harmon,
not.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, they're creative people, and I love Justin Roiland's method acting for Rick. He just gets slam hammered in an audio booth and just sing lines for hours.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's comedy straight from the heart.
Does he actually do that?
Yeah, he actually gets fucking blackout drunk and records his lines for Rick and Morty.
Dude, how many of those burps do you think are real?
Probably a good bit of them.
Yeah. Dude, you remember the?
He sounds like he has some pretty bad gastrointestinal problems.
You remember the episode with the Vindicators where Rick's like drunk on the screen, does everything already for him, and like kind of puts him through like this existential maze?
Yeah, I remember that one.
for that one, like he had shots of tequila mixed with beer, mixed with like everything else, and it's just like in there. It took like an hour to get like a decent amount of lines, but yeah, straight method acting.
Comedic genius.
Dude,
In a little bit of a different vein, though, do you guys have any, like, what albums or like what music have you guys been listening to lately? Because I've just been trying to listen to a new album every day since there's still nothing to do.
That's such a good rule that I should follow for myself, but don't. Um, I I've delved into some pretty uncharted territory for me this break. I've never listened to fucking indie or anything like that, but I've been listening to a lot. I basically just started going on or just like listening to related stuff for some bands I know on Spotify, and I've just been introduced to like a ton of new shit. Like there's this indie band called Remember Sports that I like. And I don't know. I have a lot of like songs on Spotify that's just like one off from a band that was pretty good. And I listened to a whole Phoebe Bridgers album yesterday. But what about you?
Phoebe Bridgers is good. I haven't listened to a full album, but yeah, I've been trying to do my one album a day sort of rule, and I like for the past week I binged all of the Dillinger Escape Plan albums, which really cool shit, but like intense for sure. And then like I've been listening to Faith No More because I haven't listened to them in years, so they're fun to get back into because Mike Patton I think is kind of a musical genius, like the Frank Zappa of the 90s, I would say Mike Patton. Yeah, what about you, Alec?
I've so like Christmas, I got some albums that my sister and my brother.
Yeah, you're talking about the vinyls that you're getting.
Yeah. So I got those, and I have some stuff I got at the record stores. But I've been listening to probably Yes, The Doors, Dire Straits.
Hell yeah.
Um, of course, some Pink Floyd. Obviously, I just got actually just got Animals in last week, like the vinyl. I got it from 1970.
Super good, like one of their top albums in my opinion.
Dude, I love that. I love that album.
Pigs, 3 of them, is one of the best songs Roger Waters has ever written.
Pigs and Dogs. I like Dogs a lot too, but Dogs is a longer song to listen to.
Yeah, well, they all are, but
But Dogs is dope. Like you hear the dogs barking like halfway through the song, and you're like, oh shit. But yeah, definitely those. Got some Jefferson Starship. I have a Moody Blues like compilation album, like best hits from like different albums of theirs, and listening to that. And I also found this. I was at the record store, and I just looked at the cover, and it just looked cool. Like it was kind of like smoky, but like different colored and trippy. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna buy it and find out. And it's called like the Mystic Moods. It's like the Mystic Moods Orchestra. So it's kind of like jazzy with like blues and a little like keyboard in there. Like it's hard to describe, but it's kind of like I listened to it. I was like, oh, I kind of like this. So
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I love going to record stores, man, because there's this one called Birdland. It's like Kemps River Shopping Center.
Yeah, I think I know where that is. Yeah, I know for sure where that is because I used to drive by it to school every day. But yeah.
So there's like over there and like deep in one of the corners, there's a place called Birdland, and they have like some sort of organizational pattern to it, but for the most part, it's like they have bins of new arrivals, like stuff they just got in, and none of that's organized. So I kind of like just go through it because I'd be finding stuff that I wasn't necessarily looking for. But I just look at it and either I know it and I want it, or I don't know it but it looks coul, so I get it anyways, and I end up liking it. So that's why I like that. I feel like there's a difference between going on Apple Music or Spotify and finding stuff versus like physically looking through vinyls.
I think the biggest I mean I'm gonna sound like an old head, but like I think the biggest issue with streaming is that like it compacts the listening experience, if that makes sense. Like people aren't. I think there's like a lot you can gain from listening to a full album from start to finish, rather than just listening to one or two singles.
Yeah, and there is like I can't really describe what it is, but there's a difference between physically having an album, like something that you have to clean.
It feels more like a piece of art.
Yeah, it's there's some other tie to it instead of just a song that you like to listen to.
There's like a visual aspect to the music too, like the album art.
Mm-hmm. And I
Can't
don't
get as much of that with just an MP3 file from the internet.
Yeah, and it's I don't think vinyls are going to go anywhere, but I do think it's going to be a difference where when the next generation, like when we have kids, so for us, it was like our parents grew up listening to records and that's like what they would have.
Yeah.
Whereas our kids, that's not going to be something that we primarily did. So it'll be a different kind of attachment, but I think the next
They're just
generation.
going to have Elon Musk's brain chip.
Dude, is he? I heard something saying that he wasn't allowed to name his kid that.
I wish that were true.
That Ash something 12, A12.
Where does the ash come from? Because it was just an A and an E.
The A is like one letter and it's pronounced Ash. I don't remember like what language, but like Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan and he broke it down.
Yeah.
He was like it's pronounced how it's like looks, it's X and then that's pronounced Ash and then I forgot what
that kid is gonna get bullied.
Yeah, well, is he? Elon Musk is his dad.
Yeah, he's gonna get bullied even harder for that.
Dude, he's like kids are gonna call him like a fag or something. He's gonna be like, dude, I have a flamethrower. Like he'll be fine.
My daddy made that car that your daddy drives.
Yeah, exactly.
The cyber trucks are gonna be ridiculous. Seeing one actually drive around.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a normal car. It'll be.
Yeah, it looks like
something to see one on the road.
It looks like something out of a Halo game. Jesus, man.
It does.
Imagine just seeing like a Banshee down 264 just.
Dude, he's like Elon Musk is like the Adam Sandler of like the automotive industry. Like he's just fucking around making a bunch of random shit and he's like, that's fine if you hate it. I got money.
But everything he makes that is either a good idea or a bad idea still gets eaten up. So yes, you're right.
There's like a whole cult of Elon Musk on Reddit. Like I don't know. I think CEOs should just be like really nerdy and reserved dudes like fucking Bill Gates. You shouldn't be tweeting really obscure memes on Twitter, which it's hilarious that he does, but like sometimes I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Who is this man?
I know, he's like shit posting about sea shanties and it's like, what are you shouldn't you be building a rocket?
I swear to God, he posted a picture of Big Chungus a while back.
He probably
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
He's gonna name his next fucking kid Big Chungus. Dude, he's so weird. You think he's ever killed anybody?
Oh, for sure. He's definitely killed someone.
He had to test the flamethrowers out somehow. But like, if you watch him in interviews, like on Joe Rogan, like when he's talking about like AI taking over the world, like you see just this weird emotion in his eyes. It's like he takes so long to talk. Like he's so pensive and like terrifying. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's unsettling.
He almost feels like a member of Congress, but weirder.
Yeah.
How many sitting senators do you think have killed someone?
Say about a quarter of them. Wait. Have killed somebody themselves or have paid somebody to kill someone?
Ooh, I don't know. Killed somebody themselves.
All right, probably like like 10%.
The 1% of the 1%. I feel like Mitch McConnell has some blood on his hands.
I feel like he's seen some
Dude,
shit.
he has actual blood on his hands right now. They're purple and swollen. That might be why they were so fucked up. He just beat someone. I don't know.
Dude, when's he gonna die? He looks like he's right around the corner from death.
I know that his body looked fucked up, but I could see him living really like for a really long time. Like
I mean, Chancellor Palpatine lived a pretty long time after
Dude,
that whole unlimited power thing. So I don't know.
like, dude, if you think Mitch McConnell looks bad now, imagine when he's 95, how fucking deformed he's gonna look.
I mean, there was a guy who, there was a senator from South Carolina, Strom Thurmond, who was in office until he died at like 106 years old, and he was the speaker. He was the Republican majority leader, I think, and he was like pro segregation back in the day, and they still made him fucking party leader, and he didn't leave office until he was over 100 years old. And guess who took his place? Fucking Lindsey Graham took his place.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, there's a huge problem with senators being that old. Senators, anybody in politics,
they're so out of touch.
You shouldn't be 70 years old, 60, 70 years old, and in control of something that affects people from the range of, a year old to 50 something. Like you're from a different time. You have different values that doesn't apply anymore, especially somebody 100 years old.
I saw a tweet that Nancy Pelosi was apparently wearing the same impeachment dress at Andrew Johnson's impeachment.
Yeah. She's been there for every single one. Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude. I don't know how someone could just look at someone in their 90s and be like, I'll fucking vote for that guy. That's just ridiculous.
Probably senile after 85, just saying random shit up there and then somehow still getting voted back in.
Exactly. It all just sticks somehow. But like if you're like 98 and you get voted to the Senate again, then like props to you, I guess. I mean, I guess you earned it. But at some point
I don't know.
I would say props to you, man. I'd say what the hell are you doing up there, man? Guy thinks he's got the grocery store, but he's leading the Senate.
People retire at like 50 or 60 sometimes. Like, why do you still have the desire to hold a job into your 90s, especially one as stressful as leading a country?
Yeah.
The whole point of working is to retire eventually and just do whatever the hell you want. Like, why keep working? Why?
Yeah. There just needs to be an age limit. Like if you're gonna be sworn in and your age starts with an 8, you can't fucking run.
What if you're just 8 years old?
That's fine, you're a spry
Elon
young
Musk's
man.
son, just like candidate X-A12, 8 years old.
Dude,
Young Sheldon.
I'll write him in until he's able to run for office.
He'll probably get more votes than Kanye did.
I would hope so. I would really hope so.
I was at a Walmart and I was stopped by some guy with a clipboard who was like, "Hey, do you mind doing like this quick 1-minute survey for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got time, whatever." And he was like, "So there's this candidate who's running for office who you may have heard of."
So there's a scientist, right? And he turns himself into a pig. Sorry.
There's this guy in the parking lot basically just trying to get people's signatures to kick Kanye off the ballot. And he was like, "So would you sign this?" I was like, "Can I sign more than once?"
What's the point of getting him kicked off the ballot, though? Like, he didn't get any fucking votes. Well, he got a few, but like,
To secure that, like nobody wants to. Like, what if Kanye won? What if?
there's
I
an
would
alternate
assassinate
universe
him.
where that happened. Like, according to the multiverse theory, there's a universe where that's happened.
And the
That's a
entire
terrible
country,
universe.
everybody has to wear those glasses with the slits in them.
He first executive order would obviously be to outlaw abortion, because that's like the only issue he ran on. He's like, I almost killed my baby, and like his child was probably watching that, like, so I mean, I don't know, I'd rather be named North than have been aborted, I guess. I don't know, that's
I'd
kind of tough though.
I'd feel
That's
the
kind of
exact
tough.
opposite. Dude, that video
Yeah,
was
I know,
crazy,
now that I
bro.
think about it, I opposite.
Yeah. But that was like straight up a man having a mental break just in front of an audience. And then everyone just shared it on Twitter. That dude's out of his mind.
I came up with a new idea. It's like TikTok, but it's for Jesus. It's called Jesus Talk. An actual thing I did not make that up. He actually proposed that on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the tweet real quick.
Dude, when he fucking pissed on his own Grammy, that was when I was like, this has gone too far.
His music was good at first, like my Dark Twisted Fantasy, Graduation, all that kind of stuff, and then
all right, just fucking read this tweet.
Oh, you're not kidding.
That guy just posts that meme as a response.
Oh my god.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had a really good career in the 2000s, and then like the past decade, he's just been going farther and farther downhill.
Something clearly has happened to him, either mentally.
His mom died.
Is that what pushed him overboard?
I think so. I mean, I don't fucking know the dude, but that's what it seems like from, just an outsider's perspective.
Well, he went from being the Kanye West everybody knows and loves, and then had a mental breakdown, affected his music.
He went from the George Bush doesn't care about black people Kanye to the Donald Trump cares about black people Kanye.
What a fucking turnaround. Jesus Christ, dude. What a guy.
All his music was gospel too.
Yeah.
I did not like Jesus is King. Like, not just because of I thought the whole religious theme was kind of funny, but I also think musically it was lacking.
Yeah.
I never listened to it.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but the parts I did listen to made me not want to listen to the rest.
I mean, I don't necessarily see a problem with, him having religious aspects in his music, but it was just bad music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poopity scoop, am I right?
Didn't he reference that in another song he made?
Yeah. I forgot what song it was, and I forgot what the actual quote was, but I do remember hearing that.
Whoopity scoop. Poopity scoop.
That guy's crazy.
So when that song came out, I went to my first ever beach week, and like that entire beach week, everyone was just like, poopity scoop, whoopity scoop.
Hell yeah.
I had an entire acid trip that was based around just Tame Impala and whoopity scoop.
Oh, dude.
The duality of man. Oh yeah, from that beach week acid trip, I remember, so we were listening to Currents, and the guy who was on Aux was like, man, this is what Pink Floyd wished they sounded like. And
oh God.
And like at the same time, everyone just slowly, like, no one said anything. We just all looked at him. He's like, guys, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. That has to be like one of the best trippy moments I've ever had. Just like all of us telepathically bullying this man.
My Scooby laugh.
Yeah.
Do a Scooby laugh right now.
Oh god.
Like Zoinks, man, please do a Scooby laugh, bro.
That's beautiful.
It's my one weird talent.
I have a couple weird talents.
I don't
There's
know
just
if I
like some
do.
impressions I can do, some that I absolutely cannot do.
You're
What's your worst impression?
My
Yeah.
worst impression?
Yes.
Oh god, I don't know. There's a lot of bad ones. I only really know the ones that I'm like kind of good at.
I'm terrible at British. I can't do anything British.
Quite stupid, ain't it?
I like hearing British people do American accents. They're pretty
At least
good.
we don't get shot in school while doing maths, eh?
British people singing, they sound American. Like you can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's. I feel like for them, it's just easier.
Yeah.
I also like the Scottish accent that was popularized by the only perfect cinematic masterpiece we've ever had, Shrek.
Yeah.
What are you doing in my swamp, laddie?
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Ogres are like onions; they have layers.
No, donkey.
Have you guys heard like the recordings of Chris Farley doing Shrek's lines? Because he was like supposed to be Shrek and then he fucking died. So then they got Mike Myers instead.
I remember seeing, like, listening to some of them, like, back. Oh god, this has to be like 7 or 8 years ago when Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life was popular. I remember hearing some of them, but I don't remember what they sounded like.
It was so weird, especially because he wasn't doing a Scottish accent. It was just like American Chris Farley being Shrek.
Is there like YouTube clips of him like saying it?
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, you can find it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty weird too. Just hearing someone else be Shrek.
It's interesting like to watch clips of like different shows or castings for different shows where you hear other people audition for the same characters. Like I saw an Office clip where they had different people come in to audition for their roles, and I'm like, dude, like there's these people can't fill these roles the same as the people that got the jobs. But it was interesting looking
It's
at
probably also partially because you're like already associating that role with the person who ended up getting it.
Yeah, I mean that 100% is true. You can't just separate that image from your head. But like they had Seth Rogen try for Dwight. Like
that would have been weird. Just like getting his stapler in Joe. He's like, Jim.
And who plays Harold in Harold and Kumar?
John Lee, I think is his name.
He tried out for Jim.
Damn.
I think that would have worked.
That could have worked.
I fucking love Harold and Kumar.
The guy that played Jim actually auditioned for Dwight. And
Really?
he didn't get it.
No,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Which is
I think they should reshoot The Office, but make every single character Seth Rogen.
Dude, that'd be fucking awesome. I'd watch that.
Or there was an idea I had a while back where like we reshoot Friends with all of the same actors, like everything is exactly the same, but instead of Ross, it's a human centipede of Rosses.
You may have just come up with something there.
Dude, that would somehow be less horrifying than a normal episode of fucking Friends.
It would make Friends like actually bearable to watch.
I know.
Little did we know Gabe is on the writing team for Adam Sandler along with the
Yeah. It's just
if I was on the
Gabe
writing team for Adam Sandler,
wonderful.
there would definitely be a Jenkum movie by now.
Dude, there might be. We don't know.
I'm
This is
gonna.
Adam Sandler we're talking about. Are you looking up Adam Sandler Jenkum?
I'm just looking up Jenkum movie.
There's no way there's a movie about that.
I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know if it. Wait a minute. There's a movie called Jenkum Gangster.
That's
Fermented
awesome.
human feces, otherwise known as Jankum, is the newest drug to hit the streets.
Dude, is there a trailer we can watch right now?
Yeah, this is the trailer, I'm pretty sure.
All right, let's watch it.
I don't know if the audio is coming across, though.
Put on closed captions.
Is this going to fuck with our copyright issues?
For this movie, I doubt it.
All right.
The human waste drug.
But
Dude, we have to watch this.
That kid looks exactly like a kid that went to my high school.
wait, are you talking about Jean Jacket?
No, not Jean Jacket Johnny. That guy.
Okay. The fish eye.
Is he? Oh my god.
Oh, he's realizing the magic.
Whoa. Oh.
Those closed captions are so bad.
They're
Yeah.
so off. I can just tell.
Do we have to watch this whole thing?
No.
No, I think we can cut it right there because that's hard to watch.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
I want to fucking watch Jenkum Gangster.
If we get a copyright infringement for that, dude, there's no way, dude. There's no way.
Wait, I think this might be the entire movie. I think it's just a short film.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, the entire thing is just 5 minutes long.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Dude goes into the bathroom. There's just shit in the toilet. And gets high off the fumes and realizes how he can make money. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I mean, someone has to fucking commercialize anything. He can be the Steve Jobs of human waste.
Netflix is gonna make an original series about that. I'd watch it.
I'd watch that shit.
Literally should.
I feel like there's got to be like a Drugs Inc. episode on Jankum.
I genuinely don't think it's a real thing. I think it was just an internet prank.
I feel like
No, it has to be real, dude. What the fuck? There's a. I just looked up. Oh wait, this is just under Jankum Gangster, but there's this Instagram account with 130,000 followers. I think it's a skating magazine, and it's just called Jankum Magazine.
Oh, I found that before.
Yeah,
Dave's done
and
his
one of the people that follows it is literally a dude that I went to school with that skates. So Jankum Magazine is pretty popular.
I mean, if Crocodile is real, I feel like Jankum is.
Well, crocodile is like crocodile was just something they like. It's a drug called desomorphine that like is basically morphine, but like as strong as fentanyl or something. And then Russian dudes just started making it in their basement with like really weird chemicals, and that's why people's skin started melting. Like that's a real thing, but
I'm
I don't
probably
know if getting high off of shit is real.
I'm probably just very like uninformed about this, but didn't they mix it with like gas or something, like gasoline?
I can't say I also know very much about crocodile. I just know that that's what the drug they were trying to make was, and I know it made people's skin melt.
Jesus Christ, man,
Don't I know it?
just for a quick high. Hey, with scaly skin.
Must be amazing.
I was gonna keep my skin, but then I got high.
Now, how good does a drug like that have to be to where you can see your skin falling off and be like, I'll do more?
How close do you have to get to death for drugs to not be fun anymore?
Dude, they're fun until you die. But like,
Yeah, because then when you die is when like all that DMT gets released in your own brain.
yeah, that's when the real fun starts.
It's like you're not overdosing on heroin, you're just doing heroin with some free DMT on the side.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Who?
One of you guys started talking.
I don't think I was gonna say anything. I coughed.
Oh, damn, he got the Rona.
Dude,
It's the Rona.
I'll never forget your quote that Alexander happened to snap. It was like, oh man, what was it? I guess I did forget it, but it was about heroin. It was like how heroin can't really be bad, can it, or something like that.
Okay, no, okay, this is what I said. I was trying to talk about how psychedelics are the only kind of drug that you could you could have a bad time on, right? Because bad trips happen, but like because it's a very introspective drug, I was just trying to talk to the complexity of what a psychedelic trip is like. And then Alexander just quoted me saying, I don't think you can have a bad time on heroin. Which is like not at all what I was trying to say. But I mean, I think that's really interesting that psychedelics are the only kind of drug that can make you not have fun, but you still come out of it gaining some insight into yourself.
We'll have to have an episode devoted to like just psychedelics experience and what we think about them and stuff like that. I think that would be a good segment.
Just have
Yeah, that would
5
be-
people on, but they're all tripping. And you guys talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know if while tripping would be a good idea.
Dude, I can't talk while tripping. Like I can't. It's hard to think of what to say, let alone like utter the words. I sit there babbling like an idiot.
Really,
I do that when I'm sober.
I just say dumb shit.
Like I remember I was on some shrooms, and in my mind I was saying things clearly, and then my buddies were like, "Alec, what did you just say?" I was like, "Wait, you didn't understand me? Like you've been mumbling this whole time." Yeah, it does not work out.
I've never had that problem. Like pretty much every time that I've tripped, people have been like, "Yeah, you're acting completely normal," which is weird. Guess it affects people differently.
I mean, I act normally. I just like talking is hard for me. But besides that, like I can like just walk down the street and be fine.
I mean, if you
That's
listen to
pretty
what
fun.
I'd say, I definitely say some dumb shit. David, what was that weed strain we came up with that one time? Oceanic splooge, was that what it was?
Oh yeah.
Splooge.
Yeah,
That's a good name.
does that sound like it could be a weed strain? What?
Say copyrighted right now. Somebody's gonna take that.
Yeah. What if it's already a thing? That would
Oceanic
suck.
splooge. Check
It's got to be like a strain that's like really crystally with like maybe a bluish tint to it.
bluish.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no oceanic splooge that I can find on the.
I highly
That's a relief.
Splooge, Northwest Coast Archaeology.
So like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's just some people digging somewhere. I'm not gonna read all this.
So just what archaeology is.
Yeah.
But like they're called like their company is called Splooge. What part of it has to do with Splooge?
What is?
It's probably one of their last names.
I hope not.
Apparently,
their sake.
splooge just means semen,
Yeah.
but it's a slang term. So,
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I mean, yeah, but I wanted to see if there was an actual
Oh, okay.
definition.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, somebody's last name in the company.
It's like an acronym for all of their names. Splooge.
Sorry.
That'd be nasty.
X-A12 still has a worse name.
God, that's so bad.
Yeah, this archaeology article I found is just like it has a bunch of tags for the word splooge, but the word splooge doesn't show up in any of the actual text.
They're trying to
So
hide.
I don't know what to make out of this. Probably one of the names, yeah.
Oh.
Don't do drugs.
Okay.
Drugs are bad. Okay. We've gone full circle. We've gone to the Ronald Reagan ideology of just say no.
If your local senator is over the age of 80, do not vote him back in. Jankum is for supervised use only.
Strictly for educational purposes.
And I believe all three of us are happy to star in any film or show about Jankum.
I would be for sure. I'll write it.
you and the monkeys.
I mean, there is that subreddit.
Oh God, they have over 100,000 people in the subreddit now.
Yeah, our friend became the moderator of a subreddit called r/ape, where it's all just a bunch of 13-year-olds literally just pretending to be monkeys, and they all worship our friend. I'm sure he could get them to star in a Jankum show for us.
Oh God, dude. We'll put a Kickstarter in there. All the monkeys will donate like $5 each, and we'll direct our own movie. We'll use real Jankum.
So you mean we're just gonna shit a lot?
I see no use to waste it. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
shit.
just
I haven't
flushing
had
it like
too much
idiots.
Taco Bell in a while, so.
well, you're gonna be huffing that bag. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, David. It was nice to talk to you again, man.
This was fun.
This has been a fun first
quick.
episode.
Oh yeah, very eventful.
All right, well, see you guys.
Suspiciously large nug just out in the open. Now that I'm baked, I don't have no trouble. Suspiciously large nug just out in the open.